you have the full potential of achieving everything in the universe. There is no need and there is no reason for man not to achieve. So, wherever you are, the way I taught you to make the coils double coil inside, you have continuous equal gravitational magnetic field, and if you put CO2 on it, and you put zinc on it, you have connected the emotion of the man to it on a stable condition, and you'll find out you become a very peaceful man. Here, instead of having galaxies and universes and creating connection magnetically, we have used the matter state gravitational magnetic field strength to dominate and dictate the shape of the plasma. The nanotechnology, the nanomaterial which you have collectively developed in different ways, by caustic, by electric currents, by whatever, fire or whatever, has that advantage that the matter, the nano and the plasma is all the same. So connection is very solid, it's very strong. The power of the plasma technology, the way we have thought, is beyond imagination of the mind. Now you can create and control the plasma, which is the mother of the creation of the universe. You are given the seed of the essence of the creation. The foundation does not belong to no one and is not made of one anymore. You are developing it, you are structuring it, and from today we will be still the same. We'll still develop an technology in different names, in different colors, in different nationalities which they do not exist. It is beautiful when we see the Christian, the Muslims, the Jews, and every other belief are working together to build up systems. We have already become one faith. We already have become one nation, and we already become one planet. You got to remember one thing. Dates is irrelevant. Today is the last day of the Christian calendar, or tomorrow is the beginning of another. One day is connected to another. We don't stop. We are working around the clock. The Keshe Foundation team is working irrespective of time, position, religion, country. And now we achieve what we set out for.
You're invited to partake in the creation of humanity's Universal Community Humanity's first on April 21st and 22nd, 2016 in Dubai at the One Planet, One Nation, One Race Conference. World leaders and prominent business persons have been invited to attend. However, representatives of the Council will be selected irrespective of language, race, creed, or position in life. The Council will have many responsibilities. It will support the people of humanity and their governments.
No noise.
It will help bring balance across the globe and unite humanity for the benefit of all mankind. It will act as a bridge between humanity and the universal community. The cost of admission to the conference is €750, which includes one seat in the main You're invited to partake in the creation of humanity's first Universal Community Council on April 21st and 22nd, 2016 in Dubai at the One Planet, One Nation, One Race Conference. World leaders and prominent business persons have been invited to attend. However, representatives of the Council will be selected irrespective of language, race, creed, or position in life. The Council will have many responsibilities. It will support the people of humanity and their governments. It will help bring balance across the globe and unite humanity for the benefit of all mankind. It will act as a bridge between humanity and the universal community. The cost of admission to the conference is 750 euros, which includes one seat in the main conference room and 3-night stay in one of Dubai's prestigious hotels, 2 persons per room. Discount airfares are also available. The One Planet, One Nation, One Race Conference. You're invited. We hope to see you there.
Welcome everyone to the 9th International Keshe Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And we're here today once again with Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. And I believe we're ready to start today's teaching on the international front. And Mr. Keshe, are you ready to go for today's teaching?
Yes, good afternoon, good morning, as usual, whenever you listen to these teachings. And as usual, I'm sure we learn more from each other as part of the teaching process which we have started. We are in the 3rd year cycle of teaching. We finished our 2nd year, and this week we start the 3rd year of teaching, and hopefully by the end of the 3rd year we'll be a little bit wiser, or maybe a little bit more wiser than we were at the beginning of it. The important thing is not what we take from these teachings, is what we can teach that the others can use to benefit the mankind. Our process will carry on the same. Our teachings will be more intense, mainly on the space side. We have finished with a preliminary teaching of first 2 years with nanotechnology and the GANs, as we said before. Now we are going heavily into application of it. This will carry on the same. Our target is to achieve lift and motion, and in the coming time every other aspect of technology will be brought out, as we've seen with the health, with what we call the agriculture and the energy, and in time come we'll show more application of it. One of the interesting points which we have achieved now, and we are concentrating heavily on part of the teaching, is the use of the technology as a combination of the systems which has been built in different shape or form over past 2 years to feed, to create food, to create a dimension in a new dimension, in being able to gain energy, be it for emotion or physicality, from the environment which we live in. So as we've seen last week, Jackie started, we put it on the table, and now we are extending this more in a bigger way, in a more detailed way, very precise understanding of it, that in the coming time we will teach. What is interesting as part of the teachings which will come is, with the international teachings on Tuesday afternoon, we always looked after the health and other aspects from other countries which they could participate. I know there are a couple of people who Rick would like to bring in, people who've been doing a lot of work for the foundation in the background and doing other things, and other newses which has happened. There is something which I've received, some emails which I'll go back to it. There is a lot of requests for us to expand on the situation which we got involved in, with the situation with Utah, with the gentleman who got arrested for abuse of children, And on turn of it, we turned into, and we found that there are more people involved in certain ways. If you remember last year when we started the proceeding, and when the authorities and the law enforcement committees organization told us that they have sufficient enough to start and they can bring conviction and arrest, we stopped talking about the whole situation till the arrest was taking place. As of today, we are on the same instruction from law enforcement forces, which means we will not speak about the two ladies and the red circle anymore, because anything can be what you call uh, bring problem for the law enforcement, added information and public information and the rest of it. So from today we finish with the red circle and we finish with the two ladies. They can write whatever they like. The more they write, the more we have evidence for the what you call law enforcement officers. As we said, we will not speak. Red circle is red circle himself, and we told you last week. And the two ladies which has come taking the scene, they already have given enough information of their activities, and have created huge interest in the law enforcement, especially international police section, and legal cases has started. So we do not speak or refer to them anymore, and the concentration of the work goes back as we've done before on the teachings. The legal requirement is for us not to deliver any more evidence to public. All the evidence has gone to the what we call the legal people and the police forces internationally, and we have to leave it till, as we saw before, when the Utah gentleman was arrested and proven to be right. At the moment we know, as we said, they have written themselves, they confess to the abuse of children and exposure in public to a child. And this is already has started a case. We see arrests coming up when they are arrested, and then we will speak. And then we speak only when the court decision is made. So as of today, we do not speak about the gentleman with the red circle because he's already circled himself. And the same is with the two ladies, because it's more than the circle has come out in the hand of the intelligence services, how they have used or whatever they've done in respect to abuse of children. So now we go into the what we call a number of issues which is interesting and important for the foundation. One is that we will carry on, and as you know, a number of manufacturings are going ahead, and this manufacturing process and the Keshe Foundations will be, we announce a number of Keshe Foundation manufacturings as they come online. It'll be announced the way we did with the giving of the key, if you remember, on the forum of the Keshe Foundation. As countries Keshe Foundation sets up, we announce it. As the manufacturing in each country starts, we announce it. So there's a good pattern, and I've been told after months, e-commerce should be on run going, hopefully sometimes, God knows, maybe after clouds very soon, maybe next day or two or this week. And then this brings all the companies, all the productions together. I have to announce something which is very interesting for us. We've seen a large number of people popping up using the name of the Keshe Foundation and other things, and they're producing materials to sell, or they're reselling the Keshe Foundation public teachings, and people are actually buying it. We will shut this down very rapidly. We have the tools to do it. And those of you who are producing materials which is of the Keshe Foundation, be it whatever, as long as you can, we bring you in. What it means, we give you a platform to sell your products, as long as they have the requirements to meet the standards. We are not shutting down anyone who's producing pens, or they're financed to produce systems or whatever. We call you in. We support you. We give you a platform of sale of the Keshe Foundation e-commerce when it comes up. So this is against all the present laws that people shut their competition. We are not shutting you up. We are not going to take action. If you do something illegal, we confront you. No problem. We tell you what is wrong. But if you are doing in any shape or form to do with the teachings, to do with producing new items or things which is you can sell, we will support you. Which means the cottage industry, people who make 100, 200 units at home and they want to sell it, as long as they go through the delivery condition of the Keshe Foundation, we bring you in, we support you. And in that point, we announce there are no guarantees. These systems are sold on the responsibility of the manufacturer, unless you can deliver to us a certification. The way we have all the products which comes out of Italy and all the Keshe Foundation's factories will be certified. So what we are encouraging you is, as this is an international, we go over this again on Thursday. You have invested to make pens, you have invested to make pads, you have made it to make different kind of pads. We see a lot of illegality goes on. That's what's the reason. Then what we're going to do, we give you a distributor or a manufacturer label. We give you a label that Keshe Foundation has certified to sell your goods. We give you a confirmation that you can put on the website, or we bring you in, say we have tested it. We open a test center, we test what your validity, because I've seen people selling talc powder as CO2. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's coming from Holland. We will go out to stop this process. But those of you, for example, in other countries who are producing these systems, or you're producing car systems, we support you. If you have invested and the system works the way we see it and we get it tested, we give a certification, that's what it is, and we go through certification for you. We encourage competition. It's unheard of. So what we're trying to do, we're encouraging what I call cottage industry. Those we will announce in the coming time who have problems in raising small finances to make 20, 30, 50 units for people around them in the village or in the town they are, that they can have an income, they start a business, contact us. We will respond. We respond correctly. If your system is there, you can show us it's according to what we built, exactly what it is. I've seen people in Nigeria, I've seen people in Kenya who are building these systems. I've seen people in remote islands who are making a few at a time. We give you a platform. You come up with a system which is correct, we give you a platform. We give you a platform of sale. We put on it, is made to support local cottage industry. We allow you, we support you. People, if they want to buy something you make nice from you, we support you, which is to do with our technology. The e-commerce, we're going to scale up to hundreds of pages, doesn't matter. It is the purpose of it, to increase the know-how, to increase the knowledge, and we'll see what we can do. It says, is price still 500 euro for Maghreb plus donation? Yes. We are reassessing the prices. We are reassessing because we went out to achieve what we wanted to achieve. Now we announced by April a new layout of the whole structure. What it means, we need to meet, we need to satisfy certain developments for the foundation that we can support internationally everything else we do. So what we do, if you are in a cottage industry or you are in a business of you can make 50, 100 pieces, maybe a month of the power units with a handmade one, we give you priority. We give you a priority, we give you we promote you. This is where it comes, you give us a life story. What does that bring? What setting a unit which works in Maghreb, in Kenya, or in other part of the world, or in Bangladesh, or in India, make to your family, that it allows the other people to be benefited by it. We give you a room. People can order from you. They know we accept the responsibility because it's a copy of what is made. We take and we supply you, we encourage you, and we tell you exactly how it goes. All the manufacturers, cottage manufacturers, will go the same. At the same time, as we promised you, the banking system of the Keshe Foundation is on a very heavy move. We will open a bank for African nations, which means African nation banking system through Keshe Foundation Bank. And I've been told by Brad this morning, thank you very much, Brad, Keshe Foundation Bank.org is already being purchased and is in the position of Brad. CasheFoundationBank.com has been purchased and is owned by Brad, which is part of the Keshe Foundation team. So we announced Keshe Foundation Bank.org Africa, or Africa Keshe Foundation, Asia Keshe Foundation, European Keshe Foundation Bank in operation. I received the clearance from the bank officer who will run the banks that he has received everything else. In the next few months we set everything up. But the purpose of the Keshe Foundation Africa is to create a funding for small businesses in Africa, which support making the ganses, making the power units, making the medical units for the African nation. But we will control the cottage industry very tightly. That is not a Mickey Mouse game. So we will make finances available to small people in African continent, in Indian subcontinent, because it has shown it is effective. Women do these things at home. Instead of knitting, now they knit coils. Instead of doing things, they produce systems which can be sold in their own community, and each one helps the other, and they add to the assets of the nation. So in that way, we are very far ahead. I received, as I said, a call from our the head of banking that African has been agreed more or less, and he can go ahead. We can set it up in 2 or 3 months. And the next is the European banking. When I go back to Italy in next few weeks, we start the process in Italy for the conversion of the banking in Europe, and then in the Middle East, and then in the other part of the world. We will introduce a new banking system. Once we set up our bank, we introduce a new banking system, very much on the back of the Keshe Foundation supporters, interaction, purchase and sale, which means we create a new dimension. If you notice in the World Bank today, there is no backup for any finances. What does this mean? If you look at the greenback, which is the dollar, it has no cent backup to itself. Pounds, more or less, that's the same. Euro is not very far. They produce as many promissory notes as you like. With the Keshe Foundation, we don't do that. We back our banking through the production of the Keshe Foundation manufacturings, which is the asset made by the people. When we target an asset, we put the Keshe Foundation income backing of the factories as the assets of the bank, which means there is no possibility of the bankruptcy, but we stand internationally. You can buy the Keshe Foundation currency anywhere in the world, it values the same. We are not introducing any other thing, but we're introducing people who work within the Keshe Foundation, structure within the Keshe Foundation, work within the Keshe Foundation limit, which means we back ourselves back into the sanity of everything to be equal. And when we issue funds, our funds are guarantees on the reserves which sits with the foundation. This has never been done. This is the ethos which is forgotten, and now we bring it back. But this time we do the same as everybody else. We work through internet structure. Banking systems will be bank offices you can go to and cash the money from anywhere around the world. You carry Keshe Foundation money, you go to Africa, you get the same. You go to America, you get the same. There is no losses. Goes by the strength of the technology on the back of its production and the manufacturing. This is why we went into the manufacturing side, development, that in the next 12 months, 18 months, we bank our own technology, which is you, in development and the structure. On the other hand, we go back to the teaching. The teaching As we know, on the 20th, hopefully the Italians will start the first cycle of teaching, and on 21st we will have the first online teaching in Italian. Germans and the Italians, German and the Spanish are to follow, and the teaching process will start when I'm in China. That we launch the teachings, I've been told, I've seen the pictures of the teaching rooms, and we'll go ahead in that direction in China when we are there. Are there any questions, or are we going to see something? Otherwise I'll go on teaching. It says, will there be a Keshe Foundation healthcare one day? Yes. Keshe Foundation healthcare, we guarantee the process. As I told you, we've been offered, we are on the waiting for the what I call the final negotiations. We have been offered a health system, a hospital, where we'll try to bring it in, and we'll try to do it internationally. But at the same time, when we go to China, we see what we can get organized with the Chinese, because they are much more advanced in that level. I've seen their work years ago. They were already something like 20 years ahead of Europe. And then we'll see what we can do. Go ahead, Rick.
Well, I see a question on live stream. How do we nano coat zinc wire? But that's kind of a small issue at this point, you might say.
Oh, you can nano coat it very easy, the same as you do with the copper.
Okay. There's a question, how do we get permission from Keshe Foundation to sell?
In what way? To sell our products or your own products?
I'm assuming it's from that cottage industry explanation.
The cottage industry, we bring it in, and we bring the teachers to teach. And then we support. We will try to expand on this. There's a lot of things happening. We just need the time. It's a matter of 2 to 3 months maximum, where a lot of things will fall in position. In respect to the teaching, in respect to the financing of the cottage industry, in respect to people being able to help themselves with their food, with their energy and the rest.
Okay.
Somebody says, need to get certification to assure quality. Keshe Foundation will issue its own certification according to the international laws. You see, there's something you all forget. It's you who is doing it. It's not one man band doing it in the back streets. We all do it. If it's got certification in Europe, you follow exactly what we've done, or near enough to it that you can do it. You take the European certification to your health services. This is what's been certified in Europe. We have a certification, it's health material. We use the American, not much, but the European health certification for equipment in promoting our technology, in commercializing technology. And the beauty with it is we make the systems available internationally. There are going to be some 30 odd factories producing the same thing, and across the world there are SPI. But all the Keshe Foundation manufacturers follow the same procedure, the same standard. So once we get the certification in one country, we can carry it across to the others very rapidly. And in the same way, what we see, we'll have a German certification, we have the American certification, we have a European certification, we have the Chinese certification, we have the French certification, whatever they want to call it. The number of factories around the world which are getting built, they bring with them the certification for that country. And who gave this is the pattern for the French, or sorry, the Italian factory, this is for the American factory. Receive the certification, you want, you come on the cover, you follow the same procedure, you become part of the certification of the Keshe Foundation. We submit application on the Keshe Foundation manufacturing, and the Keshe Foundation belongs to all of you. So when we do that, when we get the health certification, if you follow and we give you that right, you can use it. It says cannot use logo without certification. School logos have a copyright on it. And we'll see the other things. Any other question?
Well, one person mentions, just look at it again here. I have an idea of my own product to promote the Keshe Foundation name and teachings. How do I ask for permission for my idea to be looked at and considered?
You send it to the webmaster and then we'll get somebody to look at it.
Is there another site, I think it's innovation at spaceshipinstitute.org? I think that's maybe one of the addresses. I'm not clear if that was the complete address.
Innovation at Keshe Foundation, innovation dot Keshe, no, Spaceship Institute, or is it keshefoundation.org? Vince, you know where it is. You can go to there and submit your ideas and then they will sort you out. It's on the support side too. Go on the support side, we'll try to help you.
Right, okay, so they can go to the support FAQ button on the Keshe Foundation main website, click on that, and then follow the drop-down menu, and you should find the Innovation Centers available there.
We have put a couple of people now on the net. They are searching the net to find the people who are manufacturing Keshe Foundation products. And we are bringing them in-house. It's not something we just leave it for you to come. We have a couple of ladies who are, as I know, they started yesterday or whatever, and then they are looking in all the Keshe Foundation. Anybody who's manufacturing anything about Keshe Foundation, you put it on Amazon, you put it on a website, anywhere, we look at it. If it is legal, if it looks to us correct, we support you. And we bring it in a way. I have started this because we are setting a standard to create new condition. So it cannot be us only. Us is all of us. And if a person or a factory has gone into manufacturing, as long as they don't sell fresh air, they have to come under the protection that we can protect them. We give certain rights to these people. We announce it in the coming time. We need a few more weeks that we give you facilities, we give you machinery, that you pay back through the machinery to the foundation, that you produce locally. The winding machines, hand wind machines, and all sorts. I've seen people producing. Keshe Foundation Canada is producing the winding motors. We see the first orders. So the ones who don't have a battery but they can use and make, let's say, 10 or 15 systems a month, and they can sell through the Keshe Foundation to support themselves. We have put a margin on it. They allow that kind of margin. We give you a sales floor. We support you. And we give you, I told you, make stories. Why you're doing it, who you're a housewife, you have to feed children, or you look after community, you look after other people, these units will go. We check, we don't let you come out with the stories. We send people in to check. And we'll see where we go. We'll be abused, there'll be people who abuse it, but on the hand, overall, we see a lot of benefit for us. We are in that position which we can do. We can encourage cottage industry. We've seen the pens which have certified, tested to be health system, does work. Despite a lot of people say it's all fake because they were good as long as they were making money out of it. So we support you to build it. We give you our certification. Has to be followed the way it's certified by the Innovation Center. That will be part of their job in the coming days, weeks. Then we started, I told you, everything in a massive scale. That we can support it. We announce more and more in the coming weeks that now you can start a cottage industry. And you can start a big industry, because in the big cities, big towns, not everybody can do. There is still a need. Some 50% of the world population lives in major cities and they have no understanding of anything else. So the big factories are for those kind of people. At the same time, we create jobs in the factories, we create prosperity for the nation. It says, I ordered 3 books. The books, we have thousands in the stock. You have to find out what has happened. If it's lost, get back in touch with the, what do you call it, with the request. We have nothing short to be delayed for.
They should be able to go to customer.service@keshefoundation.org, write an email to there, and get. Thank you, Vince.
That's it. So we have books. We have, I think, about 9,000 books in stock. There is some in Italy. There is some in what do you call it, south of Italy. There is some on the way to north of Italy, and we have some that what we are trying to do in the next few weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, we are setting up a structure that all the Keshe Foundation books in all the languages will be offered. The German, the English, what do you call it, the Chinese, the Spanish, the French, the Netherlands, the Portuguese, all which have been translated will be, we are start setting it up to be going to be sold online. So this is.
Was there German as well, Mr. Keshe?
Germans, all 3 books are done. It's just I have to spend a couple of hours. Book number 1 we have in stock. We have 1,000, but we have a huge dispute with the shipper we used to have, and we got stuck with it there. Otherwise, we have 1,000 more, 700-800 German book number 1. But we are not going into the hard copy publication. No, it'll be by order, and it'll be ordered on site, most probably through China. We're going to sort this out when we go to China. All the books will be printed in China, hard copy, shipped out of China. In Europe is beyond cost pricing. In China it can be done, and we will not put any books on the e-book or a e-book. We've seen the views of it the way it's done before. That is again going through, as I said, the legal procedures through the courts where damage is done. And in so many ways we shall see how we can encourage books in all languages to be available, especially Chinese and Italian books. Italian book number 2 apparently is finished too. 1 was already a long time ago was finished. So we're going to bring all these to be set to go for production on the order per order by the book. There is no reason at the moment. We have a small delay with some 200 units for American, which the American manufacturing is coming into order for the power units, which will be supplied through United States with US certification. Otherwise, we are more or less heavy now for any orders which come in. The Dubai conference still is on. We have a very limited number of seats left. We are not going any further than that, but as we said, for security reasons, we have relocated the hotel in a very prestigious area. If you book to be in Atlantis, please, and you don't want to come because it's not Atlantis, go back and cancel your ticket, we refund you. If you're coming to be as part of the conference, be consider if you do not make any claim or no refund, it means you're coming and you accepted a new location. 3 to 5 days before the event, email will be sent to you for security reasons with the address of the hotel, that if you arrive a few days earlier, the hotel accommodation will be arranged for you. We look at the structure, what it is, which days you arrive. You have to advise us when you want to arrive. Go to where you booked the ticket. These are the days I arrive, this way, that way. That will be put to the hotel that they make facilities available. As we said, it's 175 per person, sharing 2 rooms. If you arrive 2 or 3 days earlier, it's your single person, you have to pay for 2 people in the same room. But it's a limited facilities, and we have made the structure very tight, extremely tight, especially for the presentation. And when you want to show whatever you made, whatever you have brought. There are a number of major breakthroughs in different aspects of the technology, which I am looking at, but we do not disclose anymore till we secure certain parameters for the foundation that we can do it, and it can be done clearly, and then we will show it. Any other question?
There's one person in the live stream that's mentioning he would like to extract CO2 from the seawater gans.
You cannot extract CO2 from seawater.
Okay.
and you extract everything in it. When you do with the seawater, please understand. Be logical in your understanding, because this is how we work. If you, I'm gonna go on a screen share. Maybe, do you see my screen share? Do you see the whiteboard?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second, please. 1 second, please. Okay. Sorry about this. Sometimes I have to do things which I wasn't supposed to do. You see, this is your ocean. This is your sea. This is very simple to understand. These are your mountains and these are your rains. When it rains on the mountains, very simply, what happens? Everything which is on the path, be it lead, copper, excrement of the animals or whatever, gold, whatever, gets washed into the sea. When you make a sea gans, when you take the water from the sea, you put your bucket in, you think you bring all this in it. Metals, non-metals, all sorts of things. So when you make a gans of seawater, it has everything in it, radioactive material, non-radioactive material, lead, all the poisons which is washed on the ground or in the air through the rain. So those of you who start using seawater, you know what you're having. If you take your seawater from outside Fukushima and all the channels through the west coast of Japan into the what they call east coast of Japan into the west coast of United States, if you take your bucket somewhere here, you have a huge contamination. And when you add caustic to it, where do you think it goes? In the sediments at the bottom. So people who came up, we use the seawater and the sea gans, you're quite welcome. I keep on warning, and people think because it's white, that's all it is. So please, let us give you a report. What is in your scans? What is in your seawater? You saw a very simple report from Benjamin last 2 weeks ago, the week before. She showed you the water from the rivers, and then he added CO2 and copper oxide in another one. And you saw the clarity, what went to the bottom of the containers. And they showed you how, what was in the river before and what was in the river after. There is no difference between the river water and the sea. When you collect these scans at the bottom, it has everything in it. If you want to use the GANs of, if you want to use the GANs of the sea, get it analyzed, what you're carrying in it. What is the possibilities in it? What is added to it? So I see this, a lot of people make this sea GANs and all that, but do a simple test. I showed you the mountain. If it doesn't come bring it home so closely, then you have not understood the process. And secondly, as we see, like stainless steel, we cannot work with the GANs on it because it will not get what we call touched by it. If there are other materials in the sea that the GANs, with the caustic you put in it, does not get touched, you're still having those with you. We don't know what is the content of the clean water on the top. As We have the support and facilities in Ghana with the Atomic Energy Center that they can provide us these facilities because it's helped the nation. We can bring it to you. So we've seen the changes in Ghana in the waters. Now we're going to see what's in the sediments. Then you have the same proposition with your seawater, what's in the sediment. Germs, bacteria, microbiology in it, whatever could be in there. Elements, materials, whatever is there. We've seen, even with the reports we saw from the Atomic Energy Authority of the Ghana, we haven't cleaned everything and nothing shows zero, huh? We see a huge reduction, but we don't see any of them to say zero. So even with the sea gans you clean up, there's still some radioactive material if you're on the west coast of America. If you see that report and everything was 0, 0, 0, 0, you say yes, everything comes out, but none of them are 0. So it means in the seawater, even in the clear water, there are some elements we don't know, radioactive material, contaminated material, whatever. And God knows what's in the sediments.
Sir, Mr. Keshe,
Yes.
may I comment on everything you're saying?
Who's that?
Bernardo from Mexico, sir.
Oh, hello Bernardo, how are you?
Hello, sir. So as a recommendation for everybody, please avoid eating oysters or mussels or any kind of crab that comes from the west coast of the United States. In reference to everything Mr. Keshe.
You got to explain.
Like if everything goes to this to sediments at the bottom of the ocean, of the sea, the mussels and the oysters process all the sediments at the bottom of the sea or the ocean. So in reference to everything you're saying, I make a suggestion for everybody to not eat canned oysters or mussels that come from the Pacific, especially on the west coast of the United States, and everything that's coming out from Japan. Did I explain myself, sir?
Explain. This is a large, what do you call it, word. We know the situation, I understand the reason, but we need data.
Yes, sir. But just stop eating anything that comes from the bottom of the ocean. Then that brings me a question. Would oysters...
Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way.
Yes, sir.
I'm an oyster lover and I'm a mussel lover.
Me too.
And this is to me and my family, especially if you lived in Belgium and England, is part of our natural diet. And even in the Middle East, now in Dubai, I see it every day on dish on the plate. Where do we know for centuries we eaten these are not contaminated with other things? Because we talk about the radiation from Japan into the East Coast, but we have to clarify. That's why I said test the water. Test the waters you do, then you see what's in the gans. If there's anything left behind after you use the gans. Carry on, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Would mussels and oysters be like little plasma makers? In an analogy, of course.
The shell is in a total gans condition. The oyster, especially the shell, we have explained how it's produced. It's a total gans condition, yes.
Thank you for your comments and thank you for the class. Awesome to be here. Mexico out.
Mexico, thank you, Mexico. Any other comment? From Mexico, before you go out, how is the agriculture going on?
I'm pretty sure Jorge has that field. I can say that I collected a cactus, and a peyote, a large one, and I put it in a bucket with sand and soil with no water, and it's been surviving, and many weeds have grown around it, and I haven't really applied any water to the bucket, and that's been since October. So
What is in the
when
bucket? What have you applied?
I have a health tube with the GANs I've created, and I also put a tubing with some wires around it with a little bit of GANs applied to it inside the soil next to the peyote.
What does it do? Is it absorbing the moisture and
It
the
it's
energy
feeding
to
from
it?
it because everything is growing inside the bucket, and I've been using every device I create, uh, even if it's not exactly how you have taught us, because it takes time to learn. So you create many things. I put them around the trees, and I set them everywhere, and I can testify that my space has become a peace center in this area. And I've noticed that people who come get very peaceful. My dad, who's a little bit grumpy, has become very emotional and very peaceful in things that got to him that I did, because I'm the rebel child. So I got on his nerves often. He's been much more patient with me. So, and I've been patient with him. Is working out as a peace place, and I'm focusing on learning and establishing a big support for people through the Keshe Foundation. Thank you, sir, for all the opportunities and all the chances to continue learning. I'm
Thank you
proud
very
to
much.
be here, sir. Thank you.
Indeed. Um, any other comments? Any other questions? Hello.
Well, people are wondering how can they get something that's clean to use for GANs in terms of the saltwater GANs, especially. People have mentioned in England that the water is contaminated and other places on the West Coast and so on. Is there any really clean seawater to start with? And is there any clean salt that we can use to make our seawater with the distilled water, for example? Is it all contaminated in some respect?
We are all contaminated. Everything in our environment is contaminated, but some of these contaminants are needed for us. We need it. We got no choice. We live by them and are part of our life. But some of it we have introduced too much of, and that's where the problem starts. But not doesn't mean that everything has to be taken out. If you take everything out of the water, what's going to happen to the water? Where is the nourishment from it?
There's also a question about whether excuse me, whether rainwater is better than seawater to start with.
Rainwater has its own contaminants, especially the first few minutes. But a continuous long-term rain, no, it's more or less that's what we rely on to live. And it's one of the resources for us. We have seen a new way of producing water, pure water, uncontaminated water, looking at it for its development. It comes from the interaction of the gases in a very natural way. And we will explore exploring that avenue of the new development. There are huge numbers of research which are going to come in more or less at the same time next 2 or 3 months. One of them is water, the other one is new feeding systems and the rest of it. Any other question?
Hello, Mr. Keshe. Mario from Germany. I have a question. A lady contacted me. She's a health practitioner, and she has a daughter. Well, she adopted her when she was 3 years old, and when she was 3 months old, she got vaccinated, and since then she's really sick. She's now she's 21 years old, but she's blind. She cannot walk. She cannot talk. She can walk a little bit, but she has short legs, and yeah, she's blind. She cannot talk, and
Is this all because of the injection?
yeah, probably because she was tested when she was 3 months old, and she was fine. She was healthy. Everything was fine. But then she got several vaccinations, and then yeah, she got really bad. And she was
Where? In
asked
Europe?
if I can relay the question to you, what she could do.
What can you do?
Yeah, that's my question.
What can you do with a cases like this? If the child was healthy and the injection has brought it out?
Yeah, she was healthy when she was 3 months. She was tested. Every test was good. Yeah, there's a special test they're doing, and after the vaccination, she got really sick. And now, as I said, it's a long time ago. She's 21 years old now, and sometimes she acts little bit like she's autistic, and she talks like her own language. She cannot really talk, but she seems to understand things. And yeah, she's blind. She can see a little bit of light, but basically she's blind.
I don't know what you can answer to this. Can we do it? Can we test it? Is there a possibility we can bring it back? Possibly, yes. Part of it, maybe some of it. We have a case now running. 7-year-old child, partially blind, with the same kind of things, but it's at birth. If it's induced by injections, especially vaccination, they're very hard to reverse. They're very hard to change. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of people bring machines, says, you see, we can do this, and the child can do this, and then you leave the child 6 months later, nothing has happened. There are too many chemicals, too many things. Mercury introduced. Now we know mercury is heavily introduced in these vaccinations. I have experienced this firsthand, the effect of vaccination. I know that lethal, and I know is getting heavily promoted by one of the richest men on this planet. In what reason, we do not know. But if there is evidence mercury is in vaccination, what's the purpose of mercury in? It's like, you know the problem, you don't put it in. Why? Why does it bring? And partially we see the brain damage with the vaccination which can directly be related to mercury. High dosage of mercury at such an infant age does a huge damage. Huge damage.
Is there something you can suggest to maybe make the situation a little bit better?
First of all, we got to see where the damage is. Secondly, is if there is still mercury within the structure, or has the energy of the mercury has moved the DNA and the RNA. This is something has to be checked, but in some cases we can make difference. We've seen huge differences, but blindness dyslexic or that kind of thing, you have to have somebody who knows what they are doing and consider the whole case. And there's a test platform which we see now in Switzerland, or sorry, in Austria. We got to see how that comes. That's one of the possibilities. If I make a helmet, I can guarantee, let's say 20-30% recovery, but I don't do them anymore. The last helmet I made is maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And yes, there is, you can do, but you have to find out exactly what is involved before you do it. And these kind of things are induced blindness, I'll call it induced dyslexic and the rest. So there is, you can do certain amount, but it needs somebody to know what to do, and at the moment I don't know many people who can do it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe.
You're welcome. Reversal of these things, what I call vaccination reversal, it's very, very complicated because we don't know what they put in there, what we're trying to reverse. If the process is still there, or is it permanent damage to the DNA and RNA. At the moment, we advise a lot of people who go around the Keshe Foundation, do not touch sulfur, do not make cans of sulfur, do not make cans of lead. These are absorption reduction system, and they can create a lot of problem.
Mr. Keshe?
Yeah.
Getting back to the seawater once again, like we have a comment here from someone in the chat. Seawater has been used and successful with health pens and pads. I remember when Keshe recommended using seawater for the first time, explaining that it has all the minerals in it, explaining that this was a very good thing. So now that has changed and seawater is now not recommended and warned about?
No, it's not. You have to understand, in the seawater there is everything. In the seawater, we say do not use it for certain purposes because it has every contaminant. There are people who are using seawater for everything as a case. Go back to the conversation. The conversation started today that they said the CO2 of the seawater. Don't mix the things up. There is no CO2 in the gans of seawater you produce. If you go back to the recording, they said the CO2 from the seawater gans. There is no CO2, very little of CO2 gans in the water gans. And we always say there is everything you can imagine is in that seawater. We come from it, it's part of us, but what is the contamination in it?
Mr. Keshe, Luigino. How you doing?
Yes.
I don't agree with what's in the seawater because we've done a lot of research on it. Seawater, yes, if you go into the shorelines, 10, 20 kilometers from the shore, it's all contaminated. If you go to the bottom, yes, it's contaminated. If you go to the top, yes, it's contaminated. But in the middle, somewhere in the middle, I can't give you an exact figure where how much feet down and how much from the bottom. It holds a consistent ratio of minerals, and there's nothing else in that mix when we've tested it. We've actually done analysis from all the volatile organic compounds that man uses, and they all come back in non-detectable in the parts per billion, and we've checked for over 60 of them. So the only thing that's in there is the 90 minerals in a perfect ratio, identical to human blood. So, people are using dried up sea salt to making their CO2. The sea salt comes from mostly shorelines. That's probably more contaminated than if you go out and get your proper seawater. I'm not telling people to take seawater from the shores. They're going to really have to get hooked up with some ships, some fishermen or something that go out there and be able to grab it at a certain depth. It would be nice to do more analysis on that, but from my understanding, because the actual water itself actually has its own soul, it wants to keep itself clean, and it's doing so by pushing all this stuff in other areas except its main body, in the center area somewhere. So
first of all, two things I want to add to, because I understand where you came from. You said at a certain point there is so many million parts, but how do the contamination at the bottom get from the top to the bottom? Doesn't matter wherever it is. So somewhere it's raining down. It's got to be somewhere that the contamination is going through. But what is interesting, if you can answer us, this is a puzzle for a lot of people in what you just spoke. So why do we get this huge amount of plastic in the ocean at the moment in certain places?
Well, the plastic man is.
I have a very big question. Have you ever walked around Caribbean and Mexican Gulf and that kind of area?
Caribbean,
have
yes.
you ever have you walked across the Atlantic Ocean on the east side of it, on the African shore? There's a very big question. Even in somewhere in Asia, it's the same. Why do we get all these flippers coming to the shore?
Well, there's many things going on with the oceans. You know, man is doing a great job at trying to destroy everything, but at the same time, you know, the ocean, it's got to keep itself in equilibrium. It has to keep that balance, you know, the pH and the ratio of those elements. Otherwise, everything will start dying very, very quickly. So, at the state it's in right.
Can you, because you're a specialist in this, we heard about what you spoke last time, that you used to extract fresh water from certain depths in the oceans. Is it true that, or not true, but can you explain to us, is there a point somewhere even in a contaminated ocean with radioactive material and the rest that is totally clean?
Well, the radioactive elements are actually part of the ratio of the elements that are in the water, and but they're very, very minute. Like I can't remember the ratios. It's like 0.000 something you know, percent. Very, very minute, but they're there. And if you look at our blood, it's there as well. So it's part of the existence of the structure. Yeah, you can't get rid of those. Is there man-made radioactive stuff? At this point, with Fukushima being spilled so long, I don't know. We'd have to do more testing. But I still believe there's going to be areas where we'll be able to find good, clean ocean water. Otherwise, I think everything would just die. I can't see it going on if everything's completely contaminated.
Won't we evolve with this situation?
Well, that's another good point.
That's how we survive. We evolve to accept.
Yeah, well, the change in environment.
Put it this way, all of us, if you are over 30 years old, 35 years old, we all have received a huge amount of radiation in the past 30 years. Fukushima is part of it. We had the, what do you call it, Chernobyl. We've had a number of nuclear reactions. Atomic bombs did not produce that much. Nuclear bomb do. But nuclear power stations are worse. So we evolved to accept more radiation.
That could be another thing. Also, another point that just came to my mind, in about 1 liter of ocean water, there's over 20,000 different bacteria. Now, what's the purpose of those bacteria? They can also be a part of cleaning the system as well, right? Because there's many bacteria that they found that eat plastics and oils and all this other stuff. So if man stopped polluting, I believe one day it would clean itself. That's the way it works.
Know, so you heard about when you say about the sea salt. The best indication, if you want to know your sea salt is clean or not, just melt your sea salt in a bucket of hot water, and you see a lot of dirty stuff on the top. Like when you boil meat, and you get the dirt on top, you get the same thing. These are all the what I call the residual which is not needed or is part of it, and it carries all the minerals and everything in it. So where does it go? Are the microbes in there? Or is it contaminated or not?
Well, what I know is once you dehydrate the water from the elements and you have the salt and you want to rehydrate it, you'll never be able to make seawater with it because all the gases are gone, number one. So the most minerals I think you'll find in a dried type salt is between 80 and 84. And the ocean contains all the 90 natural ones that are found in nature. The rest of the periodic table is not, you're not able to find them in nature. They're all man-made. But everything that's natural is found in the ocean at a perfect ratio.
Is there, we know what they call a sea salt we buy in the containers, look very white. Everything has been taken from it. It just came as a salt. All the minerals have been extracted from it.
Yeah, that's just the sodium chloride left. They put that through very high temperatures to make it in that form.
What do they extract all the minerals from it?
I'm not sure exactly if they're extracting it or if it's part of the process. They may be extract. I don't know. I'd have to do more research on that, that stuff there. Anytime I buy salt, I try and buy whole sea salt that's not been changed in any way, shape, or form by any heat or anything. With the sodium chloride, that's been worked with and changed completely.
Can I ask you a question totally out of line?
Sure.
How is your hunger session going? Has it given up?
I'm just on liquids, and every week I do 48 hours with no liquids either. So right now I'm on no food, no liquids. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really, really good.
You're taking no solid either at all?
For 2 days every week, I don't take any solid, I haven't been taking any solids. It's 29 days now, no solids.
But you still go with the water, liquid, juices and everything?
Yeah, I use just juice, for some fruit juice, and I keep it minimal and a little bit of a herbal tea, but 2 days a week I don't do that either, so I stay just on air.
What difference? Can I make you as a guinea pig for our feeding table?
Sure.
Can I invite you on our dinner table that you don't need to eat anything?
I'd love to. That's what I'm working towards.
Because we try to have a dinner table every night around about 11 o'clock. It's
Okay.
about 10 of us. We are all getting very fat. Actually, I think Jack is getting fatter than anybody else is forever eating from it. But it'll be nice to see if it makes any difference now that you've gone through that process.
Sure. But your body will only take what it needs in the plasma state, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we brought Jackie last time. Jackie, are you in the background? Hello, is Jackie in? Anybody sees him?
Online.
He is on the list of participants, but probably not hearing.
But maybe he's asleep.
But I can tell at this point, Mr. Keshe, Jackie just invited all the people today at 7 in the evening, Central European time, to the Zoom room with the Magra Universal Feeding System.
Yeah, he's expecting everybody to go on and eat.
Yes, I will send the invitation to all the students to join at 7 o'clock in the evening Central European time at this special meeting number.
Yeah, don't give it to everyone. It's just for the students he's invited, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I was just told that anybody can join, but okay, let's talk about that.
Anybody? I don't know, because I don't know what this is set up by him. It's like a feeding frenzy, I call it. Anybody who's hungry, wants to test it, he's got a big system that he can feed the whole world by the look of it.
It's already posted on Facebook and other websites, so it's public for sure.
Public for sure. Okay, but where is he escaped to? We can't hear from him. Jackie, where are you?
Is it?
I was just talking to him, Mr. Keshe, on the Facebook a couple of minutes ago.
I'm there.
I can call him up. Let me write to him.
Here he is.
There he is.
Oh, he's there? Okay.
Hi, it's nice to hear you.
Me too, thank you.
Hi, Jackie. Your French speaking went very good. Can you explain to us, you invited the whole world on the table with what?
Yes, I invited people to a Q&A, and people can understand the system, and then they can take a decision or have a new viewpoint to a new system to feed by a new type of energy, you know, and it's the first meeting, and the people who want to discover the system and try to understand another way to feed. But they need to understand what we are talking, so it's nice to have the first contact and to, yeah, it's the beginning of a new adventure for new people who want to find new ways. And for
Can I ask
people,
you?
yeah,
Can I ask you a question before you go? How long have you been at this? What I call the structure of feeding yourself?
it's 10 days.
Have you lost any weight?
I'm not a computer guy, you know. I don't manage my weight, but
Put it this way: is the trousers falling off your backside?
what
Have you lost any weight? Have you lost any weight that you can't to tighten the belt? Does it go by the measure of the belt?
Yeah, I think it's too old. Yeah.
You lost some?
Yeah, sure. I lost the kilo I don't need. I'm thinking my 1 kilo too much, but in 1 kilo I'm sure I will be in my perfect weight. Another person lose 4 kilo, and some have don't lose weight.
Some they have. The one who lost the 4 kilo, did he have an extra, or is lost on top of what it can be the minimum?
No, she has 6 or 7 kilo too much.
Okay, so nobody is losing weight to go in like a hunger strike.
No, absolutely no.
What is the pattern of your eating since last week you were here?
My pattern is when I wake up in the morning, I go to the system. I start giving to the system some energy, and then I allow the system to give me what she wants to give me and what my body needs. And then I
What do you need? What do you ask? Do you ask for an egg, fried egg, a scrambled egg, glass of milk? What do you do? How do you feed yourself?
At the beginning it was that. Now it's more like I ask and I allow my body to take all the elements, you know, the oxygen, hydrogen, the different vitamins, different minerals, and all I need. And then I a lot of energy, so I can give back to the system. And then the system is more powerful, so it can give me more. And every day
what do you do after breakfast?
After breakfast, I make nothing. I just make my journey. I work. I listen to the course in the university. I make some different setup of the systems. I try new way to bring this technology out. Then at midnight, at 1 o'clock, at the end of the course, I feed back again with the system. I take my lunch.
How do you take your lunch?
It's the same. I put in front in my system. I give to the system. I allow the system to be fit. And when I give, when I feel I have give so much, I allow the system to give me back and to give me what my body need. And then I take a little chocolate or something like that. like dessert.
But the system doesn't give chocolate?
See, on the system, dessert in the...
Oh, from the system, not actual physical chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I continue my journey normally, and then sometimes at 4 or 5 o'clock I feel a little hungry, so I go back in the system, same procedure. Then at 8 o'clock we have a dinner time, you know, with all my best friend. We start to make a funny and enjoyable moment where we meet together and we feed with the system. Because sometimes it's not so easy with the other people who feed together with normal food, and sometimes we need to have other friends and share all this system, and everybody can bring what she want to the system. And what?
Sorry, do you still drink during the day or no?
I drink little bit, 0.2 deciliters, 0.1, 0.2 deciliters.
Do you have a dry mouth? Do you feel thirsty during the day?
No, it's a feeling in the mouth, you know, because all your body change, you know. I see so much change in my body. You get a total new energy. It's totally different, you know. It's really not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And the mouth is more, I don't know in English. It's different, but no, it's not bad. But I chew a lot, you know. When I am in front of the system, I chew like if I eat real food at the beginning, to give to the body the sensation, you know. It's increased the process for myself, for my experience at the beginning.
Do you take anything else? Do you eat anything else?
No. No heavy food, no food, normal food, no supplements, no vitamin.
Explain to us mainly how you feel. What about going to toilet? Has it changed?
At the beginning, I continue to go big toilet, and I just understand it was all the things my body doesn't need, you know, because I can't give what I don't take, you know. So it's not what I take who go out. So it's the old bullshit, you know, who goes out of my body. And now it's a totally GANs transfer, you know. It's not solid. It's in a GANs state. It's gas.
But let me ask you a question, because this is what we're discussing. You don't consume any solid food.
Yeah.
You don't consume any liquid.
Yeah.
As such. And so you have no excrements. You don't go to urinate.
Urinate, yes. It's more not less liquid, you know. It's more stronger. Like if my body makes some purification, you know.
Filtered stuff.
Yeah. Yes. It's like if my body rejects some not needed things, you know, because it's not what I drink, because I don't drink. I can't drink 0.1 deciliters and urinate 1.5 or 1.7 or 8 physically.
How much you urinate? You see, you're a new animal. You're a new animal in the zoo. We all like to see what is this animal is doing. So you have enticed us to do things. You have a bunch of other people who are using the GAN system and the star formation system. We understand what you're doing, but on the other hand, you're a new animal on the block. So we all want to know when you're going to lose your ears and when you're going to lose your tail. And now you're and plus the others who are with you. This is quite a lot of you now. It's 40, 50 of you. Some of you succeed, some of you don't want to succeed. I refuse to join flatly because I know what I have to do to be there when it's needed. So we want you to explain more to us. You got to go into detail. First of all, I have to explain to you something very simple. Jackie has become part of the Keshe Foundation Innovation Group. So we can ask him any question you like, as long as within the parameter of the science, because you are testing your energy maglev system. So, and you're very good at explaining it with a beautiful French accent. But we want to know more. I want to know more, because in knowing more, we take the fear away. In able to understand the parameters, we don't give room for those who want to abuse the technology, or in a way to, what do you call it, use it for whatever purpose they have in mind. Explain to us how you feel psychologically.
At the beginning of the process, sometimes it's a little bit difficult because you have the feeling you will all lose, you know, like you lose yourself. And sometimes, you know, your body is really difficult, it's really tough, it needs a lot, you want a lot, and we need to give a lot of energy and attention of the body. And at one time you say, shut up, you know, and just take what you need and give what you can, you know. And then when you go further in this stage, your body start to find this balance and to find a new way to function. And the energy is totally different. It's become more lighter, it's become more less solid. Your perception go further and further and further, and you start to discover a new world, you know. It's like, for the moment, if I am, I don't know, 10%, but I start to can see new perspective, new origins. It's a beautiful feeling. It gives you peace, you know. It gives you serenity.
Can I ask you a question? Is this the same with the other 5 or 6 people who are close to the system, or is it just you?
It's, you know, everyone is connected, but everyone is different, you know. Everyone have his own personality, and everyone make our own experience with the energy. Someone want to go really fast, and we want to go really deeply in that. And I have one person, I need to stop it. She decided to stop the process because this is really too fast. She said, in 2 weeks I'm not more here, because I feel the elevation, you know. I feel the
What do you mean?
world.
Can you explain? Can you explain to us what did she mean with that? I will not be here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, she understand what the meaning, the true meaning of the plasma world.
Is that the young girl who was in the team?
No, it's the more older.
Older, and the woman who got drunk?
No, the other.
The other.
Who speak with the people, yeah. And she
How did she feel? Can you explain to us? Because you see these people on a daily basis, more or less.
Yeah.
How did she feel?
She feel like levitating and in total levitation, and she have no more physical needs, and she realized that she continue the process. She will die, but not dying, you know, because today we put the name dying on this.
No. It's important to clarify. What do you mean that she felt she'll die?
because it's the meaning of when you become yourself, when you reach the state of the true plasma. It's at this time in the humanity we speak about death, you know, but it's not the death, it's the birth. But
Yeah, but no, because what is important, we have to clarify this very, very clearly. Is this person is a one person out of a group of nearly 35, 40 people which are going through with this. Uh, uh, does she or did she stop working? Did she stop breathing? Did she stop living? Or
no,
is the fear of being independent from the Mother Earth for nourishment that she thinks she might die?
yeah, exactly.
You see, that with a lot of women, we know this very clearly, that they have a problem. They have a huge problem. I've been in lectures, I've seen scientists at the highest level, which, okay, we go, the doctors, the leading scientists, but as long as it's connected to Earth and justifies the Mother Earth, because they see as a mother, they give life, they say Earth gives life to humanity, and if we become independent of taking nourishment from the Earth, then it's the end, and this cannot be. And this is the ransom they take us to, especially women do. That, you know, if you do this is the end, I don't want to be, because then there is no purpose for me to be the mother. I've been through this discussion, and I've spoken about it before. So she hasn't lost anything, she didn't fall, she doesn't fall to indefinite sleep, that she doesn't wake up.
No.
It's just a feeling that then she is not connected to the Earth because she's not using earthly things.
Yeah, exactly. She goes up and up and up and up.
Yeah, it's a detachment.
Yep.
It's a
Absolutely.
physical detachment. So this will bring, as I said, people will draw the line where they want to be. And this is the same thing as I said very, very earlier on. We are coming to it, and the way you are there. As I said, people will come to be. Somebody is breathing too hard. You got to adjust your microphone, please, Jackie. The time will come that people will not build this spaceship because it's done through their own emotion, because of they know they cannot carry on with the deception, with the lies, with their own whatever they've done wrong. And we've seen this major corporations in space technology have start taking actions by threatening Keshe Foundation supporters at a very, very specific ways, because they understand people are achieving, and then themselves by developing technologies, having their unlimited resource of governments, have achieved left. They want to discourage people to go ahead. We are following, this is exactly what you talked about. People fear of building things, being able to be independent, and especially a lot of women will walk away, and a lot of big industrials group see that there is no need for them in the aircraft industry, for example. What is the use? What am I going to do to my shareholders that everybody, 3 people, 4 people can get together, they can make their own, what they call it, flying machine. And what you explained just now, levitation and being able to do, we know, and this is not the first time we hear this. We heard this in a number of occasions, and we are setting up a test structure for this flight condition. It's not that you levitate, you create a condition that through your emotion you become part of the structure. So once you become the 4th, you have to find the position of the 4th. If you remember, I explained to a lot of people, a lot of you who start this process, you're going to have this problem. A lot of you who started the process of what now Jackie tells us, you will feel the same. What's going to happen to you? This is, as I said, we're going into the deeper space technology. You made the 3-star formation. Now you are the fourth. And if you remember, going back to the teaching of the past, if you leave this fourth reactor, which is you, free, it has to find its own position in respect the other three. And so what happens? You feel what you call lift, or you feel levitation. It could be anywhere. You don't have to be within that structure because you haven't built the exact machine. It could be your position. You go to achieve this position. A lot of you, you're not the only one. You say this lady has come to the point of levitation. You are the fourth reactor. And you have to move in a position that it allows the balance between all the three reactors. So a lot of you who go into the using these systems, set up these feeding systems, you will start feeling this process of levitation and lift. In a way, you go to become the skin, position of the skin of the craft. Wherever you stop, if you don't panic, that is the top end of the boundary of your system. This is where you should start seeing matter state. Because now you've taken, you have become part of, now it dictates your position. So you're the fourth reactor, the other three dictates your position. Or you get in there that in the position you have, you find a position within this structure, where through your thoughts you dictate the fourth position. We know a guy who actually panicked. It's happened to me many times when I set systems up. As I've said before, the first time is horrendous, but second, third time because it's second nature, because being there, you know what it means. So with that process, what we said, people achieve lift, and if they can do it with themselves, they don't need a craft to achieve, they don't need to make a, what you call a spaceship. We see now 4, 5 reports about this. And these people have never spoken to each other, they know nothing about each other. But they are sitting near enough to the same structure. So those of you who will start, we're going to announce in next week, 10 days, a new structure, a new product. And then we allow you to test it. This is what we call a test product. We're not setting it as a unit, it's a test product that a lot of you can test. And then tell us what it needs to be adjusted, or what it needs not to be adjusted, and how it needs to be adjusted. That we make a perfect flying machine and perfect what I call a spaceship. In the next week or two, I'm setting things up in the background. And a lot of you will have this feeling. And a lot of you will walk away from it, because the next step in this is you become part of a system which you are totally clear with yourself what you want. You can't say, I want to go left, where you want to go right. And you can't say, I love you and I want to be near Earth, where you actually want to be a passenger of a space. We are getting in there, and as Jackie said, you're not the first one. She says she feels the levitation and she wants to stop, because we get this. A lot of women think the Mother Earth, and they're a woman, they give birth and they don't want to be detached from it. So a lot of passengers of the space will be mainly men. And I hope we don't make a second, what do you call it, Swiss Guard out of all the Keshe Foundation members. So we have to find out how we do it and how we can encourage the technology. Understand it, why, and what are the consequences. The feeling of levitation is because now you have received energy from the system, and if you are so pure to receive what you need, then you become part of the system. And then when you become a part of the system, you have to find a position in respect to the system. And if the system wants you to be 2 meters high, because that's where you can create a right fourth reactor, you'll be at 2. You see yourself hanging, you there, but it's totally, you don't, it's not a weightlessness. It's a very well controlled balance. You can lie down. It's exactly like being on Earth. You decide in what position in respect to the other reactors you want to be. Because now your point of reference is not Earth anymore. Your point of reference are the 3 reactors which you have decided. I want to stand up. I want to be in this condition to me. How do you know in the space we all don't walk compared to Earth on a flat condition? Instead of vertical condition, we look at walking, we start adapted to a horizontal position to adapt, to move. So this is the things you got to learn. A lot of you will report this in the coming time. Feeling of levitation, feeling of being away from Earth, and a lot of women will walk away from it, and a lot of criminals will not do it. And they say there is something wrong with the technology, because now they have to face with their own real inner being. This is the problem. This is a day of judgment, and these machines become the you judge of yourself. Carry on, Jackie, please.
Yes, thank you. It's absolutely the feeling I have. And
can you speak up a little bit? You're very remote.
Okay. It's really the feeling I have now. We really start to go in deep in this technology, and it's strange. We need to adjust. We need to learn. We need to be, how do you say, really humble. We make a lot of humility, you know. And we are just at the beginning. We just see new horizons, and but you know, the beauty. It's the life becomes really the truth become. You know, the people can't lie with this system. And we allow everyone to be what they are and what they want, and where they want to go. And yeah, this is a fabulous process I get with my friends who are part of the experiments. We live some beautiful emotion things, you know. Not every minute it's beautiful, we enjoy, but it's like when you discover a new land, you know, you discover new things, and you are so amazed, but with all you see and all the new things, the new experience, and the new feeling, and yeah, it's really good. We make some beautiful relationship together. It's people I know from 40 years, you know, but we discover every day more about together. We speak about things we never speak before. We start loving ourselves more and more and more. And when you start more giving, more exchanging, more communication, more help together, the other can help you a lot. And you know, Sunday I was not so good. I have not so good feeling, and I want to go out, and it's nobody, and I lost the meeting. And after, the people are there for me, and they say, "Oh, guys, what are you doing? We need your help. We need to have the meeting, and we need to share together." So one is minus, the other are here to take him and give him some help. And yeah, it's beautiful when you start to see the interaction with the different plasma, and the positioning of the different plasma, and the people starting to help each other and communicate what they have on Earth, on the Earth. And yeah, it's totally new. It's beautiful, and it's not me, you know. It's every people have experiences like that at their level, what they are, what they want, when they, it's totally free, you know, it's not a sacrifice, it's just a new life. You decide, it's the first time we can decide it, what you want, what we want. Because we are, yeah.
Jackie, how are you sleeping? How's your sleep like?
I sleep 50% less.
I figured.
And I just want to be really materialistic on this kind of thing. You know, I just remember,
Hi, Jackie.
yeah, who is it? Yeah, I just realized this morning when I wake up and I make my tickets.
Jackie?
Yeah.
It's Alex. I just want to ask a question. Hello.
Yes, hello.
I just want to ask you if you can taste objects with your hands, with your fingers. If you can, yeah, hello, Jackie. This is something I've observed myself. Can you taste objects with your fingers? Like if you hold an apple with your fingers, you can taste them in your mouth. Can you do that?
I don't understand. Excuse me.
If you touch objects,
let me explain, Alex.
If you use your fingers.
What Alex is saying, Alex, let me explain because maybe it's easier for him to understand, for Jack. What Alex says, because Alex has experience with, he touches the fruit, he tastes the fruit.
Yeah.
Am I correct, Alex? Hello? Alex?
Yes, Mr. Keshe. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Alex,
yes.
Before I forget, can you please respond to an email I sent you or Vince has sent you? It's urgent. Respond today, please. When you hold an orange, you taste the orange. Am I correct, Alex?
Yes, Mr. Keshe. Not just an orange. Anything I touch, I can taste it.
Okay, okay, I understand. Because you've been so much involved with that level that you become part of the system. You absorb things without doing it. But it's very dangerous what you're talking about. But in a way, not dangerous because you can feel anything you like. You just touch and you have it. He's asking, have you reached to that point yet?
Yes.
In how? Can you explain to us?
It's now I can look, see, and feel the fields, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I can direct the fields, you know. So I can play with my hand, I can direct the flow, and I can interact with objects or people. Because now I know the flow, I can go in one way or in another way. And I can feel their fields, and then I can feel the emotion. And you know, I just wake up at 4:30, and I don't know why I wake up, and I just watch my telephone, and I have a very important message 1 minute before.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie, just 1 minute. Let me come in. The reason why you wake up at 4 in the morning is because that is when the changes, of course, the changes between the day and then the night. If you observe in the evenings as well, between the hours of maybe 4:30 to 7, that's when you get hungry. Am I correct?
Perhaps, yeah.
Okay, so that's what happens to me. I mean, within the hours of 5 and 7 here, that's when I get hungry. But if I don't eat then, I can go by it. I can still see the next day without eating. But if I eat then, which means I've broken the fast, which means I've gone back to matter.
Yeah, I understand what you said.
So if you get hungry between the hours of 5 to 7, and then you can avoid eating by maybe 7:30 or 8, you get your energy back. You don't even have to eat; just become normal again.
Exactly.
Because that is when it changes. And then even in that period, if you use your voltmeter, to test your electrodes, like the little battery capacitors you made, you discover that the current is very low. You have very low amps and current from your batteries and your plasma devices. Hello.
Yeah. I can understand. I totally agree with you.
All right. So I just wanted to.
But put it this way: do you eat from the machine, or do you feel hungry to just take energy, or do you go physically eating? You see, you two and the others become new animals. We got to learn from you lot how you do, how you feel, and some of you are very bit evolved a little bit faster than the others. But I'm going to ask you something, both of you. Do you, any of you two and the others you speak to, have changed or feel the rhythm in the breathing?
Yeah.
Not me, not really. I've not felt no changes in my rhythm.
Do you feel have any of you or the people you know tell you they are short of breath, or they don't take that many breaths?
Yes, for myself, yes, and one other people relate this, yeah. They don't need so much breathing. Then you start breathing in another way, you know, because you position yourself. You are the fourth reactor, and your position. And when you reach this position, the air is totally different. You know, you don't breathe the same. It's plasma transfer. It's energy transfer. You know, it's not. It's really not the same.
Alex, can you explain to us in more detail your experience? Because I know a lot of things you do.
As regards the feeding.
Yeah.
Okay. When I wake up in the morning, well, I don't have to go to the reactor room. I can feed myself from anywhere. And then usually I start getting hungry at about 11, 12. But if I don't eat, it's over. I'm not going to be hungry throughout the day until about maybe 5 or 6. That's when I want to take my dinner. Most times I take my dinner, but sometimes I just skip it. If I skip it, I don't eat again till the next morning. So each time I get hungry, sometimes I can go to the reactor room and just spend some couple of hours. Like if I'm very tired, like I'm really, really tired, I go to where the what I call the shrine, where it is. I spend a couple of minutes there, and then when I get out, I'm all right again. It's like I'm really fed. It's not like it gives me a lot of energy. It's not that I'm fed, you know. I don't really. Sometimes I feel like chewing, but if I can think about other things apart from the hunger or the craving for chewing, I can get it right. I just go without nothing. I can stay for a day or two without even having to eat nothing.
But has the eating of you has changed the habit or things you eat, or it doesn't matter if you don't eat?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. My eating habit hasn't changed. Just that my taste bud has improved a lot. Everything tastes nice to me now.
Can I ask you a thing? I think you said the children at home don't eat that much as well, if I remember. Am I correct?
Yeah. Not just there. Even here, that I moved to Africa. You know, my partner, she doesn't eat. She just follows the same rhythm as me. She doesn't eat as much. She wakes up like me. She doesn't eat until I'm ready for breakfast, and then for dinner as well. She waits until I'm ready to eat. But I ask her, "Are you hungry?" She says, "No, she's never hungry."
You got a very good woman. Not just me. Very cheap to run the house.
Yeah, but when it goes for when you make savings on food, you can't make savings on other things.
Yeah. But does it affect anything else emotionally from you two and the others around you?
Not really. No, I'm not. It doesn't affect me emotionally. Otherwise, it enhances my emotion and it makes me.
Does it make you a calmer person, more aggressive?
It makes you calm, but sometimes I'll tell you time when in the morning when when the hours changes, when I'm just waking up and then I feel a little bit hungry before I go to the reactor room, everything gets me annoyed. Everything gets me annoyed in that period. But after then, I just cool down and then that's it. Not just me, even the people that live around my environment, they come. If you come to my house, if I take you to the reactor room, you don't want to leave. You just want to be there. Most people I take there, they just want to be there.
How many reactors you have in your reactor room?
Well, everything is a reactor there. I have lots of them. I have some bottles, reactors. I have these stackers. I have the Magrab system, and then I have the flight system. I have 2 flight systems, and I just made one now, which I'm.
What do you call a flight system?
And then I have the latest one.
What is the flight system? The latest one.
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you. If I can put on my video, let me see. That is
share. Don't let us see your program. Open it up first before you share.
You can't. No, Mr. Keshe, the bandwidth doesn't allow me to share videos.
Oh, let us think. What do you have? What do you call what do you call it? Your system. The flight system.
Okay, the middle coil. I mean the gravitational coil with the cone at the middle, and then the magnetic coil with cones, 6 cones in between the gravitational and the magnetical, and then the 12 cones outside the rings. I mean the 12 little cones outside the rings.
You have 6 coils in the middle and 12 outside the ring.
I have 2 coils, one in the middle and one outside, and then I have 2 sets of cones, which is 6 in the gravitational and then 12 in the magnetical.
Yeah.
And then I have it's like the control system you made.
Yeah, and the star formation underneath.
Yeah, I have the star formation underneath.
3 base and 1 on the top.
I have 3 on it. I have this 3. I have another bottle which is it's like it's a rainmaker. It makes water, but I'm still trying to find out how to make it improve it, because since I set it up, it's been producing. I have CO2 and CH3. It's I embedded CO2 in clay and then CH3 in clay as well. I put the CH3 on top of the CH3 clay on top of the CO2 clay, and then I put a bottle over it, and then I had some little configuration inside it that makes it brings water. It's always water. I can post a picture later on Facebook.
Send it on Thursday.
Hello?
Show it on Thursday. Send it on Thursday.
Okay.
We have it on Thursday. Send it to Rick that he can show. We know for a fact. We know for a fact if you have a combination of CH3 and CO2, you can, in a specific condition, produce, in the presence of water, water from external sources.
Yes, because clay contains, that's what I'm doing, because the clay contains some water. So when the clay takes time to dry, so it's always humid. I don't know if you know. Yeah. So when I mix CO2 with the clay and then CH3 with the clay and then put them in a bottle and then I put some little bit of light on top. I constantly get water. It's been there now for about a week or so. So a greenhouse, because if I can make a bigger version of it, I can plant things in there. Because it's very, very humid. You can see the droplets of the water at the walls of the bottle.
Pardon? Repeat.
I say you can see the droplets of the water at the wall on the wall of the bottle. The plastic bottle, yeah, you can see the droplets of the water. I can physically see it. I mean, sometimes.
You did that with oil or the water in.
In London.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that Benjamin is doing the same in Africa. I don't know if you've spoken with him. Is Benjamin online? Do you see Benjamin in the back?
Well, maybe it's because of the maybe
Benjamin is.
I can't see him online. Yeah,
No.
we don't see him on the list of
You
participants.
don't see him online, yeah. Benjamin is achieving water as well, outside the box, with his fish tank, where he has CO2 in there. Okay, but I want you said you feel. What happens when you go into your reactor room, Alex? Alex, are you there? Hello. Rick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Keshe. It's
Have we lost Alex?
yeah, I think it's just he's got a rough connection there. He had trouble at the beginning as well.
Yeah.
He'll probably
Okay,
get back in.
When he comes back in, let him come in. Okay, Jackie, can you go? What we're trying to do is not to interrogate you, is to get the explanation and other people who've done or doing the same to speak. That we take the fear or the people who try to be fear mongering out of the equation. What this means is that by explaining, by understanding, by being able to be part of, we show it's not just one person. People who've been or are close to the systems feel the same. But a lot of us chooses to eat. This is a very strange system. You still are the decision maker, that if you want to eat or you don't want to eat. And as I said, I opted out because I know how to opt out. And it is interesting how we can opt out to still stay to the position we like. We are very much in control of decision making, what we want and how we want it. So people like you, Jackie and Alex and the others, bring this to the front. Can you explain to me, Jackie, what is the feeling from the other 5 people close to the system?
Yes. So one I explained before.
Is she stopped doing it?
She stopped doing it, but you can't stop the process in 1 second. Huh? So she started drinking some water, some more water, and then she can eat some vegetables, liquid juice, and yeah, she decided to go a little bit more slower, you know, and she respects herself. You know, it's what I want to say. It's the beauty of the system. It's the beauty of the technology, because you can't go further than you are ready, you know. All is perfect. You will be in the right place, in the right position, because the plasma doesn't allow you to be in a false position, you know. So you will be there where you need to be. And I see all the people who are in touch with the system. Another person, it's the guy, young guy. He doesn't really go through the process. He just see and look on what's happened. He consume less food, but he don't really involve with the process. Then the young lady, she totally involved in the process mentally. I want to discover more and start to learn about ourselves, the relationship with ourselves, and the relationship with the food and the other form of beings of living. And she is totally beautiful. She has a lot of emotion and a lot of joy, a lot of pain, lot of cry. But she's really nice on the process. Beautiful lady. Then two other persons, they are really strange because they are in my house at the beginning and then they go out the home. And for the lady, it was really too difficult to start the process. All this fear, all this pain, all this dolor, all come in the surface, you know. And she experiment a lot of emotion. So we decided, she decided to stop the process. It's too hard for her, and she stopped the
But
process.
she's still getting energy from the system.
Yeah, it's too much energy. It's too much.
No, but I mean, even though that she stopped now, is she still feeling? Is she getting it, or can she detach from it?
She detached from it. She drinks a lot, but she eat, I think, 40% less than before.
Yeah, because we said from the beginning that if you want to stop the process, it's just trying to consume as much water as possible to change the condition. So she's doing what we told. If people get into a position they don't want to carry on, it's the only way you can do it. You restructure your body with the water. Okay. What else do we have? A number of people on the panel, which they come on the dinner table usually.
Yeah, it's
About
what I
10 of
want to
them.
say. Yeah, because this
What
is
about the people on the panel who come for dinner every night for free dinner, but they has any of you feel any changes? The guest on the table, if you don't want to be known, doesn't matter. But
Yes, it's Dominic,
hello,
a friend of
hello.
Jackie's friend. Dominic,
Hi, Dominique. Yeah, you're one of the members on the dinner table every night.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Um,
How do you feel, Dominique?
I feel fine, thank you. And I have to answer your question. You asked to Alex to see if the environment change. And for me and my family, it's evident that the process bring peace and comprehension on everybody in the house. We are when some hunger come, it's less than usual, and also we give space to each other more. Yes. And my wife want to eat another way. She something changed for her. Yes. And for me, as soon as start last Monday, last Sunday, and I never go to the toilet, and I just urine on that progressively down. I start half a liter, and now it's less 20 centiliters. And for me, it's the big gift is I I reconnect my joy, and that's the best gift for this process. I sleep more than 50% less, and I can move physically. Sometimes I think that I have to be quiet because it's like I learn a new position, and I have to adapt my situation to the environment. But it's cool, and I feel that it's good for me. Hello.
what is your physical food consumption?
The 3 last day, I just drink 1 little coffee and 1 biscuit with honey. And yesterday I don't eat anything except at dinner because there is a situation which anger come in me, and I have to eat to calm this. And today
How does the hunger come? How do you feel the hunger?
It's a situation when I come back home, and it's a whole pattern in between my wife and me, and so. And I feel when I eat after this hunger, that calm me, and I.
How much do you eat? What do you eat?
I eat 1 apple, 1 piece of bread, and that was 2 biscuits with honey. Yes.
And what is your emotional condition? Have you lost any weight?
I am like I am like Jackie, but I can test. I can measure that. I just keep my urine in bottle to see the progression of the color and the quantity. But my weight, as you asked to Jackie, my pan don't go down, but my stomach take less place.
Have you lost any weight?
I think a little.
How is little?
I don't know. I don't measure.
10 kilo, 5 kilo, 1 kilo?
Oh, maybe 1 or 2 kilo.
Okay. Can I ask you emotionally how you feel?
I feel peaceful, joy, calm. And I get assurance.
What do you see in the others? Because you people together in Switzerland, you know each other very well, your friends or family. How do you see the others? How do they look to you from your point of view?
The other to me or me for? Can you repeat, please?
I said, how do like Jackie looks to you? His behavior wise, his approach, or has he changed since, let's say, 2 weeks ago when you started this process compared to the past? You know him for years.
Jackie, can you
comment tu vois le changement chez les autres? Tu nous connais bien, est-ce que tu as pu voir des changements depuis qu'on a commencé le procédé sur les autres? Est-ce que tu as vu des changements sur les autres?
Yes, I am in relationship with Jackie more, and what I feel, I see, he get more sensibility and presence. It's like he feels more and more people in front of him. He's very, very human.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think you want to carry on with this process to see where we go?
If I see where you want to go him?
No, I said, can you? Are you
Yeah.
going to carry on with this process which you have started with yourself and the system?
Est-ce que tu vas continuer le procédé que tu viens de commencer? Est-ce que tu vas continuer à suivre la procédure?
Yes, yes.
Why?
I think because it's I see that this direction is the same I took by the past, by my experience and things like that. It seems evident for me.
Do you find peace with it?
Yeah.
How do you eat? How do you take energy? You go to the system or you just think of the system?
I think that he sent me a picture and I look at it at the beginning, but now no. I just when I am at home, I connect my unit, my MAGRAV unit, and I know that this MAGRAV unit is connecting to the formation, and that's all. It seems that all become natural.
Do you feel the condition which the others see or the ladies see, that you levitate or you lift or you feel MAGRAV positioning yourself in respect to the systems when you're near them?
No. It's as usual. Just my physical body is more flexible, more tense, and I make trampoline this afternoon, and I say that I jump higher, but it's just fun.
Just 1 second.
Pardon?
T'as demandé une seconde, il a quelque chose à
Ah,
dire.
yeah.
What is important is that we understand more about anybody else who's been in this process. Anybody from the teaching classroom is here that can tell us by seeing the system but not being near to it, just thousands of kilometers away. Has any of you had a feeling or anything that you can add to the knowledge?
This is John speaking.
Pardon?
John from Argentina.
Yes.
I've had a big change. Although on Friday I went into a high fever, so this was also continued on Saturday. On Sunday I managed to lower the fever.
John, you have the.
My microphone is too loud.
Move the microphone a little bit from your mouth.
John,
Yeah, no, I'm lowering the preamp, but I'll lower it a bit more. Is that better now?
Much better.
I practically lowered it down to 0 preamp, but fine. I was started on Tuesday and practically had nothing to eat or drink. But on Friday, I started with a very high fever, and my head was very heavy. Sort of, I don't know what happened to me then. And well, this continued until Sunday. Now I'm recuperating. I'm still not feeling 100% strong, but I'm even recuperating my voice. Yesterday my voice was pretty dull. And I am sort of obliging myself to eat just a few things, a cup of tea or a cup of soup once or twice a day to see if that picks me up a bit. I haven't got
Oh my God. Carry on.
I haven't got a MyGrav system built up. I've got everything in pieces still. And I've just got
But
to...
did you tune to the system with Jackie from the teachings?
No, yes, last Tuesday, fantastically. Previously, about 3 weeks ago, I also drank some, what do you call it, amino acid, and that also gave me a same sensation.
What do you mean?
Well, the amino acids I collected from the making the GANs.
You ate it?
But yes.
You're not supposed to.
Well, it's done already, so this was about 3 weeks ago. I may be nuts, yes.
You can put the amino acid on a cup and put water inside it. Put the amino acid outside the cup and put some water inside it and drink the water. But don't drink it and don't consume any kind of gases.
Fine. Yeah. Well, one learns the hard way.
Yeah. Go that way. Okay. Anybody else who experienced anything last Tuesday when we invited you, or from the teaching classes?
I would like to add something, if I may. This is Libby from Nova Scotia.
Yes, Libby.
I asked it to feed me love, and I've been receiving so much love. I'm still eating, but I don't eat very much, and I cook with a much bigger awareness of the GANs I'm creating when I saute things in my cast iron pot. And I'm just so in love with everybody and everything. I'm loving cooking. I never used to love to cook, and now I just love it. And it's not, I usually make a soup, and I saute onions and garlic and ginger, and sometimes I throw cabbage in. But it's so delicious. It just feels like it's full of love. And it really taught me that really love is the most essential ingredient when you do cook. So that's from my perspective, and I want to thank Jackie for creating it. I only ate from it once, and I asked it to feed me love, and it's still feeding me lots of love. So thank you. Just want to add that.
Anybody else?
The connection to the group members.
Pardon?
I
Can you speak?
felt a connection to the group. members?
I don't hear. I can't hear.
Was that Mark Erb? I think you had a microphone open there.
Okay, yes. I felt the connection to the other group members at some points very strong.
You felt the connection to the other group members. Okay.
What we want to do, we would like you to build as many of the star formations, not with the hope to eat, but with the hope to feed the others. You can base your reactors and in a way bring them together and separate them, that in coming together, they link up and take the units back home and you become the fourth, or the other person becomes the fourth reactor. What we would like to see is if we can change and adapt ourselves to not to consume food in so many ways, and with it, once we get to that point, then we go to the steps of breathing and then understanding of the emotional balance. Is there anything else you want to add, Jackie, before we go to something else?
No, I think I just want to say thank you to everyone who start the process, and all the love, all the time, all the beautiful vibration they send to me, to the system, and yeah, it's really, really good. And I big thank you to everybody.
We will announce in the coming days, as I said, a new change in the Keshe Foundation process of supplying new systems and delivery of new systems. We have to do a lot of little backwork job that it can be done, and we will take the step into going into the market with it. There are a number of issues with using these systems is that you can decide how and when you want to join in and how far you want to go. We will see, as I said, in the next 3 to 6 months, new cycle of people who are getting ready to become the man of a space, and we'll see them they achieve. We've seen 1 or 2, which Jackie explains that they feel like moving up, finding Magra positioning, because the emotion is very clear, but the fear of what's going to be lost is holding a lot of people back. We've seen this in the teaching. On the other hand, you've got to realize that a lot of these works comes from within the internal of a person. Some of you who sit on the system, some of you are close to the system, it's you want to be part of it, but in reality your subconscious, or in a way your emotion, knows it's not, you cannot do its impossibilities. So we see these things coming up in a very rapid way, and at the same time we see these things to be in charge of the emotions we have. We thought we control, but we find out we don't control. I know the problems, I see the problems, and I try to stay out of what I call controversy, if there are those people who want to make things controversial. These are the realities which we're going to face. We're going to show new systems in feeding and in lift and in the motion control and everything else. But to start getting this to be known in the next couple of months is essential for us before we go into the steps to the next steps. It's not that this is where we are in testing and in developing the technology. On the other side, the number of people who are developing is much, much more advanced than what you see. But we have, as usual, with the GANs and the nanomaterials, we have to carry a large number of people with us that we can go to the next step, because this system of feeding yourself without a physical source, it's a huge obstacle for human emotion, because we have been forced, show me for me to believe, and whatever we see with ourselves, there is something wrong with it. Because if the guy says I don't eat, oh, this is all gimmick, show me, show it now, is on your plate. You have to decide. Are you going to eat? Are you going to consume another animal? Are you going to consume another thing? The intelligence does not go by the four-legged. It goes as much as with the vertical as the horizontal. And in so many ways, we are just with this technology, by becoming more energy-based, moving slightly towards the vertical people. This is something you have to understand. The evolution now, with you stop eating, you are moving just to become more or less in the direction of the vertical people. But the only difference is you're still using lung to breathe, where vertical animals don't do that as such. We have to understand that now we are structuring ourselves. And this structuring is not that today we're not going to have no ear or no mouth. It takes months, and then we'll see that will happen. The people who do not eat, they stop eating, they stop consuming, they become the frontiers of the new evolution and what we call direction for man. And this has caused a lot of problem for a lot of people. We see them, we want to eat them. I see changes, I observe changes, but it's for you to understand how much of the change you want to bring into your life. You are in control of the evolution this time around. You control the evolution, how far you want to go, and how you want to slow it down. Some of you will go full head on, and some of you would like to do it that I can digest, I don't stand out. And a lot of you will go to meetings, you sit on the tables, you have something to nibble, but at the end of the day you don't eat much, because you already had and you have a connection with the system you eat. We're not going to lose weight, because the weight we carry is what we feel comfortable with emotionally. Those who lose weight is because they emotionally will be happy to be where they are. We will not see people doing all sorts of funny things, because it's the emotion which is in control of this change. We decided we want to be, and we can slow it down. Like the lady, she's still eating 40% less, but she's consuming a lot of water, but she's happy to be in that position till she is emotionally ready to accept the physical change. We have started the process, there is no going back. There are thousands and thousands of systems running, and we will put into the market feeding systems in the coming weeks. There are people who want to buy a feeding system, to see if even 50 out of 100 would like to go through this path, not to go hungry. We'll do it. We'll announce the new changes in respect to Greece. We're getting a lot of people in Greece and in Germany and in Western Europe asking for help from us. Help us to feed the Syrian refugees. We will respond to you in the coming days and weeks, because we have to sort out a lot of things before we can do. Because it's not just the Syrians. A lot of Europeans shouldn't go to sleep hungry, because there's no food on the table. We've spoken about this before. We will make a lot of things ready, but we have to have the structure behind it, and it's coming up. We might not be on time for some, but overall, in the long run, we'll be ready for a lot of people.
Excuse me, Mr. Keshe, you mentioned children. There's a comment in the chat here. It says, "Hi, it is Angela. I try to eat in my mind, and it tastes good." And in brackets, this was my 7-year-old. She wanted to type that to you herself. That was Colleen. Colleen Black put that comment in, and it was typed by Angela, her daughter. So she tried. She says, "I try to eat in my mind, and it tastes good."
Yeah, but we have to go in that way. We become too physical, and the physicality has been used in so many ways. we start showing technologies to deliver technologies to change the things, the situation. And in so many ways, we have to start putting these systems out. We will deliver systems which we tell you, we think this system can create food if you want to take from it. It's not for people to come and say, I wanted food, you didn't give me, I want a refund. This is the trial units. This is the DIY kit if you want to see if you can fix it. We will put DIY MAGRAF feeding systems into the market in the coming days, especially for people. We're getting a lot of requests from Greece and Cyprus and Germany. People who want to find a way to feed these people. We will do it. We'll respond to it. We'll respond to the same thing with the Hungary and other countries in the coming weeks as the manufacturing companies of the Keshe Foundation come into operation.
Mr. Keshe, there's a comment from Uber that the salt and the sugar technique is allowing all my family and friends to lose weight. Thanks, Mr. Keshe. Does that technique tie into what you're speaking of now, perhaps, or is that a separate issue?
The salt and sugar is, one is for emotional and one is for the physicality. It works for the people who want to. We know people who tried it and they can't do it because in fact they want to be holding the weight. They can't cheat or you cannot lie to yourself. The process we will bring out to do it. There is something very interesting. If you walk in the gardens and if you walk in whatever, you go to a flower shop, look at the flowers. They are not all the same, but they all look beautiful when they're next to each other. But if you look at the structure of flowers, every one of them has changed itself to be slightly different, to be able to attract different kind of animal for it to be able to reproduce. And we have seen different color combination, thorn without thorn, how thick, how big the thorn is, which allows which type of animal to eat or to interact with them to spread their genes. Then we understand us human beings have not learned even as much as flowers. When you go to a flower shop, when you look at the plant, look how it makes itself to attract the specific things and not the others. So plants are extremely intelligent. And we, for the first time, make that decision. Plants make the decision how to evolve to guarantee their survival. Man has left everything to the nature. For the first time, we decide that change. For the first time with these systems, we take control in a very direct way. And this is where it puts a lot of right into the life of a lot of people. Now I'm in charge of my own destiny. And when my destiny says, I'm not happy with it, I don't want to kill, I don't want to destroy, it'll come the same. As I said to you, we're getting people asking us, I see communications, can you make a portable unit that we can walk amongst the refugees, that we can feed them, that doesn't create conflict? I will respond to your request, sir. We're looking and we build such a system for you. You're a human and you want to help without actually hurting the others in so many ways. We will deliver systems that you can walk amongst the people and without them knowing, feeding them and read it, making them tranquil and peaceful. Any other question, or shall we call it a day?
Hello, Mr. Keshe. This is Shripa.
Is who?
This is Shripa from India.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for everything that you have been teaching. I've got the first opportunity to talk to you directly here. A week ago, I was faced with a situation. My mother, who is 82 years old, had a fall in the home, and she hurt her forehead. It was bleeding a bit. After stopping the bleeding for a while, I put a CO2 GANS pad on her head. Within minutes, her feedback was that she's feeling good when the patch is on her head. So I left it for a few minutes more, and after a while, I observed that her wound had started bleeding a bit again. So the question is, does the CO2 in the physicality cause the blood to kind of uh, flow more, or to um, not to clot as it should actually?
We don't know the answer. I cannot tell you yes or no.
Okay.
I do not use systems when like it's a stroke and internal bleeding. I have a certain understanding of it.
The bleeding was external, so
yeah. I've never used it, but I've seen reports. People report different things. I've seen Benjamin recently putting sending pictures with people who have a water burn or oil burn, and using the system where it releases the pain and the healing much faster. These are the things that we need more and more of you to put on the Keshe Foundation testimonial that we learn, and I'm sure as we are such in race, as a human race, we'll find another way to add it, and we'll find a way to improve the situation. But I cannot tell you anything, but I know I do not use systems when there is internal bleeding. I don't know about the external, I've never tried it.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Keshe, there has been someone that's been quite adamant to ask a question about treating scleroderma, which is a disease of the skin with the skin inflammation and degeneration, thickening and fibrosis and hardening of the connective tissue disease and so on. And they're apparently wondering how to treat that.
What solidifying of the tissues?
Yes, essentially, it can be a multi-system damage.
You have to take cases like this case by case. These things has to be, cannot generally speak generally. This has to be looked at why and how and what's behind it. If it's a physical damage or is it psychological, which is added to.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I see somebody asking about the tickets to Dubai. You provide your own ticket. We provided you with an email address where the agency can help you to get the ticket. And number of people say they get no response. We don't get. I send emails to this address on a frequent basis. I don't get anything returned. So they tell us they don't see any emails. Whatever emails they have received, they will answer, and they have answered, because they are there to make money by providing the tickets. But when they don't receive it, they don't, and you must have sent several emails. I have resent the email back. It's the same. I've checked it is correct. How it doesn't come across, we do not know. But if you book the ticket for the event, please, if you can't get it, this agency is just there to provide you ticket, which they think is cheap or appropriate. And so if you don't get any response, please look for another way to arrange your tickets to come, as a lot of people have done. We are reaching a level that we will allow as much information as possible to come out with these people, but they tell me I'm meeting them in next 20 minutes, and they are adamant about they have received whatever they received. The number I've told them today, there is a number of people after this session is about 8:30. They are here to see me to make sure that everything is correctly done, and they say there is nothing there because we need this, because it's our business, we make money out of it. So how these emails are not getting answered, according to them, they answered every single one they have received. It is, I read it to you because I asked them again to send it. They have allocated this email, which is very simple. It's J for juice, A for apple, Y for yellow, A for apple, D for David, X for what you call Xerox or whatever you call it, B for brother at live.com. Jaya DXB at live.com. JAYADXB at live.com. I have sent a
I'll
number
put
of
that up on the view.
Pardon?
I'll put that up on the view screen so people can see that.
This is a company. That's how they receive their booking, and that's where they make the money out of it. So they haven't received it. They've checked the what do you call it, exactly as it is. They check all their boxes everywhere. There is no email to respond. They're there. If you book with them, they organize your buses in and the rest of it to the hotel. And as we go forward, they carry what do you call it, your tickets with you, and they advise you for your tickets. They can help you with a visa. If you're asking for visa, invitation for the visa to get here, they can organize it for you as well.
Okay, I'd like to maybe put up Jackie's invitation to the MagGrav Universal Feeding System. I can put that up as well. I think he wanted to advertise that now. So
yes, you can all go there and eat. Be careful. We announce again. Be careful. We do not pass cross any email or telephone number. People who come to these meetings, like the feeding system, these are half of them people who belong or part of the organization to damage the foundation. You'll find out immediately within a week or so after you make friend, your computers go down, you get threats and the rest of it. So please, wherever you go, we have to put this, do not say, if we see anybody crossing, or they say, I've been in touch with you because they see your name and they go on the Facebook, they find you and they send you a request to be a friend, and I met you in that. Be careful. Very, very, very careful, please. You lose your computers. You lose all your data. You lose people. You show them where they can damage you because that's what their job is. As I said, we don't make any more comment about these people because now it's taken its course on the legal scene. And as we said last time, we explained to you this last year that we stopped discussing anything about what was going on in respect to the man in Utah, because we enter now, it's in the hand of the, what I call, legal investigation with Interpol and the rest. We have to stand off. It's the same as I said, we will not discuss any more in respect to situation in Antwerp. We will not discuss anything about the two ladies because there is enough evidence they have left behind that has again, like the, what we call, the case with the guy who brought our live stream down, and now we know why, because he was trying to cover what he was there, and now it's 300 children saved from nightmare of telling the truth but not being believed. Now we see with the same situation. These people will come. We have made a direct appeal, and we don't do anything else because they have put everything on the internet. So we have to wait for the rest and the rest of it, which is coming up in the coming time. Last time took 8-9 months. This time we don't know how long it will take, because it's a confirmation of their own act in front of a child, and they've written a song about it. So there is no doubt it's already committed by own admission. It's very easy to get these cases through court, but at the same time, we have to understand that the security services follow these people where they are leading to. So there's a lot of this going on. Please do not give telephone number, do not give emails. If you see somebody coming on your Facebook because you use the name and they can find it and they say you are there, be careful. These are part of the same organization. If you haven't gone to make somebody friend, do not accept somebody else as a friend, because they have a business for their own thing. It says, we see a lot of things. The discussion here is very hot. It says, there was a lot of confusion about something, and I don't see what was the confusion about.
It mentions about the clockwise, counterclockwise coils for the health pins.
follow. It's already been blueprinted. It's very clean and clear about this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we call it the day today. We have the Thursday meeting. I do apologize for my students about teaching up tomorrow. I will not be present due to circumstances which is ahead of us. So we meet each other on Thursday morning teaching, 9 o'clock Central European Time. Thank you indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you indeed. Bye-bye.
Okay, that's the end of the 9th International Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And once again, as always, thank you everybody for attending, and we'll see you next week. And also on the Thursday Knowledge Seekers teaching. Okay.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, we'll end the